Okay, attention in the media room. We have our first round leader in the front of the room. Steph, we're not going to give you the introduction that we gave you yesterday. We're just going to say you're leading the tournament, man. Congratulations. 27 points, 4-point lead over Joe Pavelski. Tell us about your round.
I mean, historically for me, I get off to slow starts and get better as the week or the weekend goes on, just whether it's basketball, whether it's getting into the tournament vibe or whatever it is. But I knew if I could just get off to a good start that I'd have a little bit more fun out there. And the 3-hole stretch at the beginning, went birdie, birdie, eagle, and was feeling good. Didn't feel nervous or anxious or anything. Hit one bad shot on a 5 or 6, whatever hole that was.
Par 4?
Yeah.
6.
Tried to go for the home run shot out the bunker. Didn't work out, made double, but the rest of the round only had one other bogey. So it's probably one of the better rounds I've played ever, considering it's a tournament.
Well, I heard the second shot on 4, you were in the tall weeds on the right past the trees, a couple hundred yards out. Tell us about that one.
I mean, that's how golf goes. I sprayed it right off the tee, playing aggressive all day, and had a decent line to the flag, knew where the misses were, and I actually, just like golf, there's no room for commentary on the scorecard. I tried to hit it a little further left, and it went right on line with the flag, coming out the trees, and able to make the putt. So it's a good way to start the round and take a couple chances, see how it goes, and it worked out.
Your 27 points is the second best score you've had. You'd had a 28 in the final round in 2017, but you mentioned that you shot 69 then and 69 today, so.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've had rounds on Sunday where I've played pretty well and started to peak, but it was, I'm out of contention and all that, so this is a very new and better experience, getting off to a better start, and I'm trying to go into all the sound bites that I hear from all the tour pros about how they handle early success in the tournament, because I know there's a lot of golf left, and not getting too ahead of myself, but it is nice to, be in it, be with a lead, and kind of, can settle in tomorrow and have some fun.
Okay, why don't we start the media questions off, guys, if you'd like to line up next to the microphones, coming or going.
Steph, I'd heard you'd been working on your grip and your posture a little bit, obviously a little bit more time to prepare for this tournament than what you're used to. How much has that helped just eliminate the two-sided miss or the two-way miss, and how much does that help you be aggressive like you talked about?
It's fascinating because I've been playing golf since I was 10, and I never really understood how to learn, new techniques and fundamentals and how to put it, or one, having the time, but learning how to get better at the game, because I feel like I was the same golfer for like, 8, 10 years. But I had a little bit of a window and started getting coaching, which I never had up until last summer. And all it is just kind of like how I approach basketball. You just put little, blocks on top of each other, and then eventually you find a pattern that you're comfortable with, and then like 2 simple swing thoughts that you can go out into a tournament type of, environment and trust that the ball is going to go where you want it to go. Again, golf is an everyday, experience, so got to put it together tomorrow. But yeah, I had very simple thoughts today. Alex Riggs has been helping me. I talked to Butch a little bit, and I saw him in a tournament, and he went out of his way to give me some pointers. So it's been fun to learn, new things about the game and see it kind of pay off.
And what was your shot of the day? And was it that shot on 4, or was it maybe the putt on 12?
That's hard to choose. The shot on 4, like that, you get an eagle that early in the round. That only gives you, ultimate confidence and juice. The putt on 12 was probably more fun, just because you don't really expect to make it. You're just trying to get it down there somewhere close to try to get a 2-putt, and then halfway, as it's going down the hill, it's like, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. And then I started to play, and I tried my best to do my basketball impersonation and turn around before it went in, and it was fun. It was fun.
All right, Ron?
2 questions. That putt on 12, I was standing behind you, and you were aimed 15, 20 feet right at the hole. What was the adrenaline like, as you just said, as you saw it sort of crawling and turning toward the hole?
I've seen guys, like, that's probably the best putt I've ever made in my life. But but I've seen, I wanted to just walk over there to make sure I knew which way the putt went because I was expecting it to go past for the comebacker. And then, like you said, just see it online, and then you start to feel the anticipation of it going in. But it was fun. Like, the visualization, creativity out here, you never know when it's gonna work out. But that one, fortunately, did, because there's no other way I could have made it unless I hit that pin, square on it and went in. It was beautiful.
And what is tomorrow going to be like, the weekend, to start the weekend with the lead? Like you said, that's a new experience for you. How do you sort of manage your emotions and adrenaline and all that going into tomorrow?
I try to go home and just get away from it in terms of just having fun with the crew that comes up here for the week with me. I'm not going to work on anything right now, just try to get rest, because you realize the more that you're in contention, like I felt it the whole round today, there's no breaks, like mentally, and it's a fun experience, but it's exhausting. I even more respect what they do out on tour, to be able to stay locked in for 4.5 hours and to do it 4 rounds, and hopefully I only have to do it 3, thankfully. So yeah, just get away from it and not obsess about the game, just start over tomorrow.
Steph, someone has to ask the silly question. How do your father and brother and you coordinate your outfits?
Well, thankfully I have the blessings of being able to wear my own stuff, which is cool. I got a Curry brand and Under Armour gear on, and we got a lot of some suggestions from the team at UA and Curry brand golf to put the pieces together, and then we changed up our shoes, so everybody had on different kicks, but the fits, it's kind of become a tradition. The American Century, they do us a favor by putting all 3 of us together, I think the last 3 years.
That's nice.
And it's fun for us to have those experiences and get a lot of hilarious comments from fans as we're walking down the fairways. Even for me and my brother, somebody yelled out, "I'm sure your mom used to dress you up alike when you were a kid," and I said, "Yeah, except now we actually like it." So it's a cool experience for all of us to share these memories playing golf, and the outfits are part of it.
Well, hopefully you might stay dry this year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you. Question?
Everybody's talking about your childhood, and you mentioned playing when you were a kid, and I wondered, playing with your dad and all, was there a course when you were growing up that made you love the game? That, like, the course when you think about learning when you were a kid, is there one that you think of and takes you back to that?
Yeah, it's where I learned to play. It's called the Charlotte Golf Links. It doesn't exist anymore. It was a public track, like 10 minutes from my house, and my parents used to drop me off. I was that kid, like, after basketball season was over, middle school and high school, I'd go walk 36 holes and just be at the course all day. But yeah, it's sad that it's not in existence anymore, but that was the course that I learned how to play and had a lot of early, experiences with the game.
Did you ever get a chance to play it other than, that originally when you were a kid? Did you ever go back?
When I went to Davidson, that's when they turned it into a commercial development. So, yeah, I dropped a tear when that happened, for sure.
Copy that. Thanks.
Hey, Steph, just looking at the leaderboard, we don't have some of the traditional favorites at the top. I mean, Pavelski's the next behind you at 23, and obviously he was in the playoff last year. And we scroll down the list, we see a tie for 7th with one Del Curry. And then Marty Fish is tied with your dad, and Jack Wagner at 17. So any additional pressure, you think? I mean, or does it feel better having guys at the top that maybe haven't been there before?
I mean, it's interesting, but I do know how quickly things can change. I think there was a time Mark Mulder at one point was well out of contention, then he went like eagle, birdie, something down the stretch, and crazy things can happen. So it's nice that there's some fresh blood up there. I know personally like 6 of the top 10, and I've played golf with them outside of this venue before. So Joe Pavelski played, for the Sharks for so long, so we were, crossing paths a lot. Played with Bret Baier before, know him very well, and obviously Mardy. So it's cool to see new names up there, but like you said, it's 36 more holes to go, and just got to enjoy whoever you're playing with tomorrow and enjoy the round.
Okay. Any other questions we have? Okay, great. Fire away.
So with underrated being dropped and coming out, it seems to me that you really fully embody this underrated type of mindset. Is there any advice to the high school kids out there that might feel underrated or in your type of shoes?
Just be grateful, even like this time and youth sports and recruiting and all that. They'll find you if you have the skill sets and continue to develop your work ethic and maintain your confidence no matter what eyeballs are on you or not. You kind of have to run your own race and believe that in due time all the work will pay off, and what's for you will be for you. So for me, like, I grew up in North Carolina, and I always wanted to play in the ACC, and I didn't get that opportunity because there were no scholarship offers available, and I played in the Southern Conference and loved my experience at Davidson. It was the right fit for me, and obviously the rest is history. So, like I said, run your own race. It's a beautiful thing about sports that there's a little something for everybody, and when you find out what that is, that's when great things happen.
Dave, last question, if you would, please.
Steph, I'm not sure what Barkley did today, but do you think he's going to do his under 70 score?
All right, you gotta scroll down on that thing. How far? Keep going, 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 keep going. Where is he?
We're still looking.
Where?
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, we got something to work with, Chuck. We got something to work with today.
The two commentator friends.
79.
Nah,
He's 79th.
79th. You right there. You gotta go play well. We both trying to accomplish our goals this week, so let's get it done.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Steph.
hey, Steph. Look forward to
luck
having
tomorrow.
you. Thank you. Hey, Steph. The NBC affiliate, Alex, Steph.
Just right here.
Just right outside the door. You. One quick one. Two quick. Oh. I'm sorry.